So if you're watching this video right now, it's either you want to invest in poultry farming, you're looking for a part-time job whereby you're employed or you have another business, or rather you stumbled upon it. So let's say all in all, you're lucky to be here. So today I'll be explaining to you how the cage system works when it comes to poultry farming. And I had made a video early in the years, and I've received so many questions from potential clients or people who have converted to be clients. And today is to answer all those questions to make it easier for us to do business. So my name is Kennedy Ngomegade. I work for a company called Westgate Integrity Limited. And today here I'm with my two colleagues. There is Ernest Kimani from Kenya and Carl Peter from Uganda. And they will introduce themselves later, and I'll tell you what they do. So let's go straight to the battery cage system today. So this is what we call a battery cage system, and the one that we have currently has a capacity of 4 birds a box, but the others that can carry 5, 3, or even 10 birds. And most of the questions that I've received over the years are: one, how does the cage system work? When a chicken lays its eggs, the egg is gonna roll out from, right now the eggs have been collected, but I'm sure we'll collect an egg from one of the lines. The egg is gonna roll out and we're gonna collect it from here. When it comes to the feeding, as you can see, there is feed on the troughs. So we normally put the feed here and they're going to feed from this point. If it's the water, this is where they get their water from. If you can see closely, the nipple, this is called a nipple, and it has a different color and a distinctive one, so that the chicken can actually see there's a difference between the surrounding. And you see, whenever there's a dropping of water, it's shiny, so it will want to exactly do that, but it doesn't hurt because it's debeaked already. So once it presses this, it's gonna take its water from that point. And I don't know if we'll be lucky enough to get yeah, this is a good example. I think you can see that lot of chicken quenching its thirst from the nipple system. For the drop-ins, I'll show you from the other end. The drop-ins will go directly to the ground. And basically this cage system makes it easier for you to do poultry farming. You see, initially, if let's say your parents were in poultry farming, they will do 1,000 to 2 or 3 or 4, 5,000 birds. But I think at our age, the youth now, after our president has empowered us and they've allowed us to get money from other programs like the governmental programs and so on, and the government tenders, we're able to reinvest in such areas of farming. And the good thing is the battery system is going to allow you to do the farming itself in absentia and do other things. And I think you've realized of late there's so many European guys that are coming to Africa because we are the next big thing. It is time for Africa to shine. We'll be feeding the rest of the country, and I think this is just one of the many investments in poultry farming that we're going to have. And most people ask, is poultry farming profitable? And what I can tell you is yes. One, you can't control the prices because prices are controlled by the demand and supply. So if the demand is high and the supply is low, definitely the prices will go high, and the vice versa. But what you can control is the expenses. So using the battery cage system, you'll reduce your expenses when it comes to the feed, because you see there is actually almost zero wastage of feed. This is feed wasted, but it's minimal, and there's a high probability this happens when you're putting the feed in the trough. When it comes to the water, you've controlled the amount of water that the chicken is consuming, and the amount of water it's ever in the pipes, but it will only consume what is necessary. It is not like the old system of farming whereby you lose a lot of water because it is either spilled, you've put in some vitamins and you've lost it. So now this enables you to control your expenses and that way, even if the market controls the cost, you'll always be in business because you'll always be making profit. The other good thing about this type of farming is that when it comes to hygiene and diseases, you're able to control, because in the deep litter system it's quite a task, but in this kind of system you have an advantage over your competitors, maybe who are doing the farming in a deep litter system. Most of the European guys say that this is not the right way to do farming because it's against the rights of the chicken, but their country is about 235 years older than ours. We're only 50 years old and I think right now our main aim is to make sure that everybody in our country is fed and we make profit and we grow our nation. So in that case, I will defer to what they say. This will serve us better now because we do not have, right now is when we are trying to grow our economy. So we try to save as much to make at least as much as you can to also grow the number of chicken you rear, so that even the price of the egg can go down, not only in Kenya but in Tanzania and Uganda and the rest of Africa. So I think from there I have answered most of the questions that have been asked through emails, and the last part is about the droppings. So we'll come to this point. This is where the droppings are. So this is the point where the droppings are collected. If you've noticed, it's a staircase kind of a setup, so that this chicken, the droppings from this chicken will not come to this other, the droppings will not affect the bird on the next tire. So this way the droppings will come directly to the ground, and all you need to do is once in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, this is what we use, this is a wheelbarrow, we collect the droppings to this end. Then from there we'll show you later where we dispose them. Maybe the last thing I'd want to, there are a couple of things that our company has introduced. You see, the last time we did the videos around in 2013, but now there are a couple of things we've introduced, like we do the construction, like for example such a farm. This is a modern setup. I think the last video we did, the setup was different, but in this case this kind of a setup, it's modernized, and we have, so there are so many different things, because let's say this is used mainly in factories, but it's really necessary for such a farm to make sure that you have a breather, so that it's not congested and there is proper circulation of air. Secondly, we do management of farms, whereby, let's say for example, you have the cash flows, or you can access a loan from your bank, and you want to invest in poultry farming. So once you come to our company, what we'll do is that we'll sit down and have an MOU. We'll give you the what we call the cash flows and what is the budget of the whole investment. Then we'll manage your entire farm, and we'll be giving you returns on your investment, and of course there'll be a cut on our company because you're also in business too. And lastly, we do consultancy, whereby we link you with the right veterinary doctor, the right market to sell your products, the right people to supply you with the feeds. And so let's say over time we have grown, because initially I was introducing the battery cage system to you guys, but now I was actually trying to explain to you how it works. Lastly, if you've noticed, the setup of this farm is different. Maybe if you have a look, one, if you come to the bulbs, they are set up in such a kind of a way that you'll only clean the top, because there's a lot of dust because of the feed. So the bulb is able, it's that way so that you can be able to clean it. It's not like the normal fluorescent bulb that we use. And also the sockets are also different. I think if you'd have a look at this, you see it has a cover to prevent the dust from affecting it. So this is really good to make sure that your farm is going to be it's going to be efficient for the longest time possible, because with such a farm it's going to last you a really long time before anything happens to it. So now I'll introduce my colleagues. There is Carl Peter and Ernest Kimani. They'll explain to you what they do, and I think most of the questions are now answered. Hopefully now, once we're communicating via mail, it's gonna be either about purchasing the cages or how to construct a house. And if you want to invest heavily in poultry farming and you're a starter or a newbie in the same, don't be scared, don't be afraid. You see, people are afraid because if you're doing it for the first time, definitely be afraid because you invest in a lot of money. They're not 2 or 3 shillings only. And we are here to make sure that you do not lose your money. We have worked, in the past we've worked with clients, we've made mistakes, we've rubbed shoulders with them. But I think that happened because of lack of experience. Right now we are perfecting whatever we are doing. And as our company grows, we've learned so many things. If you see this structure and what we did in the past, so much has changed. And I'm grateful for that. And I think I have said all that I could today. So I hope that we'll be in business, and do not hesitate to contact us. We have a website, www.westgateintegrity.com. Our cell number is 0726 057 615. I repeat again, 0726 057 615. That is the number that you can contact us. And there's also the email address is info@westgateintegrity.com. So now I'll introduce my colleagues. I think we'll start with Ernest Kimani. He's the one who is in charge of installation, transportation, and most of the times when you call, you'll be communicating with him. So, karibuni.
Hi, for those who are watching, my name is Ernest Kimani. I handle sales, transport, installation, management, and the whole process for the installation. As you can see, this is a 4-tire set. This is the first tire, the second tire, the third tire, and the fourth tire. As you can see, our frame is quite efficient. It normally allows us for movement in through the entire cage for us to do the installation and work from any angle of it. It also helps our clients to pull out the droppings and also move around. For most clients, when they ask how we manage to, whether their chicken are safe, we do advise them our cages are quite strong. We fix them with top quality materials, and they are quite good. I hope to see you soon, and I hope we can do business and add value to your money. I'd like to introduce now my colleague, Mr. Carl Peter.
Like you said, I'm Carl Peter and I'm from Uganda. Apparently, you can now access these battery cages from Kampala. I'm the official distributor and salesperson for people who want to access these battery cages from Uganda. And you can see with this battery caging system, you actually be able to realize what we call increased production of eggs. And if you can see from this farm we're visiting and finishing the installation on, the total number of eggs, and you see this is a viable business. And as Westgate Integrity, we always keep advising people to move away from the deep litter system, whereby the poultry farming is done with more. The farming basically is very disorganized, but if you can see with the cage system, the whole entire farm is very organized and realize an increased production. That is what we actually advocate for the moment. So if you want to get in touch with me, you can first of all call me with those numbers which are running on your screens right now. Secondly, you can access us in Namugongo right now. That is where our demo farm is, and we will discuss and see how best we can help and aid you. Thank you very much.